All right, people, what is going on? Back again. Post game show of the first in frame rates. Well, sorry, not first in frame. This is the first in frame rates channel, but we're going to talk about the post game of the Georgia Southern Eagles at Coastal Carolina. I'm a little at a loss for words because Coastal Carolina did not play like a top 25 team, and you can make a case that we beat ourselves. You can also make a case that we got ran out of the building in the second half. Overall, I think the first half, Georgia Southern played exactly the way they, wanted to play. And considering the circumstances, knowing the way Coastal Carolina played, everything was okay for the most part. I did not have a problem with the way the first half played, because Coastal Carolina defense is pretty stout. I talked about the front seven, the linebackers. They played pretty well, but we held our own. We have a lot of issues to talk about when it comes to the fourth quarter. I don't have any answer for what happened, and we're going to get into that right now as we are back again. I appreciate everybody who comes through. Lil Uzi Vert 1600, you are here. I appreciate you. Hopefully some more people will come in. If not, that is okay. Either way, I have a lot to talk about when it comes to this game. Very disappointed. As you know, you can see on the screen right here, Coastal Carolina ends up defeating us, the Georgia Southern Eagles, 28-14. This game looked like it was much bigger of a blowout if you watched it in the second half. A lot of things did not go our way. We're going to discuss why that didn't happen. The first half, I really didn't have a problem with. I like the way things was playing out on offense and defense. We stopped the run. We was able to run the ball a little bit. We was able to even pass a little bit. Even though some of the passes was a little bit out of the way, we were fairly efficient in the passing game in the first half. So it was ended up being a tie game for pretty much the first three quarters easily. And the fourth quarter is where the bottom fell out. Lil Uzi Vert has a couple of suggestions and a couple of points that he made in the comment section. We're definitely going to hit on those. But the problem with this game basically is the Georgia Southern Eagles was forced to be one-dimensional when they didn't want to be. And the Coastal Carolina defense was able to stop everything that they was able to do as far as the running game. That's why you didn't see the running game go so well in the fourth quarter. You had times where things just did not go right and the offense just had no answer. They did not have a plan B on how to run the offense once what happens. Let's say if the run is stopped, all the design plays that you could do to pass the ball went out the window. All the other things that they were supposed to do when it comes to running the option went out of the window. The defense was tired. I don't even blame the defense for what happened in the fourth quarter because due to, like a football scientist says, bad play calling, the defense went right back on the field, and that's when you saw Coastal Carolina started to run the ball. These guys, Coastal Carolina ran the ball for only 2 yards the first three quarters. They only ran the ball for 2 yards in the first three quarters. So there's no reason for the defense to be giving up so many yards in the fourth quarter on the ground unless the offense cannot stay on the field. And that's exactly what happened. It was just a lot going on there when it comes to the offensive line. Not just the offensive line. It just had they just had no way to get around stopping the defense and get in any protection for Shy Wirtz so they can keep the ball on the ground. The offensive line was not that good. You also can see where the running game just was not there. These guys was pressuring 6, sometimes 7 people per play. And I don't blame Coastal Carolina. That's one of the ways that you stop us. You stop us by filling up all the gaps, stopping all the way for us to pitch and cut up field. That's exactly what happened. So when you see that, Coastal Carolina really, even in the passing game, I commend the defense because even in the passing game, Coastal was not able to do much in the passing game late in the game. It was more about the running game because at first, those first 2 touchdowns was like big plays. Something that we've been talking about, even when we was talking about the Campbell game. Big plays need to be shut down. And even if one of those big plays was shut down, we're talking about a different ball game. So when you look at that, the defense on the secondary tried to do good. They did a little bit better. They had a couple of turnovers. They had a decent stops. But when you have the ball for 42 seconds, when you have the ball for, a minute and 15 seconds in the second half on a drive, and the defense has to go right back out there, that's what's going to happen. I want to look at some of these comments real quick. All respect to Shy, but come on, man, you overthrowing 5-yard passes. Can't find guys at the middle school playground. Yeah, exactly. And see, that's another thing. This is where, and I think somebody was talking about this on the radio show. The radio show said they don't have any plays that show progression. We talked about this last week when they played against UMass. A lot of those plays were condensed plays to get someone open, and that's how those 3 touchdowns were able to come to fruition. When you have to go downfield and look through your progression, Shy does not do a good job of that. Even with the condensed plays, he was overthrowing players. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if the pressure got to him or not. Why are we taking J.D. King out and passing the ball on 3rd and 3? I think J.D. King, for the most part, was still a little hobbled from an injury 2 weeks ago. I'm not really sure, but he did play like himself for the most part of the game. He had 15 carries for 67 yards, which me personally, I feel that he should at least get 25 carries. I think he should get 25 touches, hands down. There's no reason for him to have less than 20. He's that type of running back. He's the running back that Georgia Southern needs. That's the type of running back that Georgia Southern is used to having. The big bell cow, the big bruiser. Give them 20, 25 times a game and see what he can do. The times when they got the ball back, the missed field goal by Coastal Carolina, the missed field goal, they should have ran the ball more. Even if they were being stopped, there were some plays where they called passing plays for no reason, and that's another thing. Logan Wright is another one. I haven't seen him most of the game at all. These guys could have been had up the middle, but the problem is them stopping the run. Coastal Carolina stopping the run wasn't necessarily them going out to stop the run. These guys were actually blitzing for the pass, and it just happened to stop the run. Even when they had chances to be disciplined and try to stop the option, we did a fairly good job of running the option. So, like I said, outside once the fourth quarter hit, they got away from all of that. And that's what cost them the game. Those 14 points that they scored was because, like I said, Georgia Southern got the ball back off that missed field goal. They only had the ball for 42 seconds. Then they get the ball right back when it's 21-14, and I think they either give the ball back or they either having the punt again or something. I can't really remember, but they did not have the ball for a long period of time. These are the things that, don't get me wrong, I like Justin Tomlin, and I'm not trying to say get Shy Werts out of the game, but because I think it's still to this day, I believe that Shy Werts gives us the best chance to win football games. But you gotta have somebody. I've been saying this for the last 3 years. You need somebody that can throw the ball even a little bit. These condensed plays for Shy Werts to throw the ball are great, but you want somebody who can look at the progression on the field. Justin Tomlin was able to do that, but he overthrew a guy that was open. And I'm not even blaming Justin Tomlin because Justin Tomlin don't get that many reps on the field anyway. So whatever happens there, it is what it is. So I'm not really mad at him for whatever he did. He was just thrown into the game. But when we get a quarterback in, once, Shy Werts is not going to be here after next year because he's a senior. I can't wait to get a quarterback that can read progression, when they can look downfield just a little bit. He doesn't have to be a drop back passer, but you have to see the whole field. Shy Werts, I love him. I love his athleticism. I love his playmaking ability. I even like the fact that he can throw the ball. Little do we know, Shy Werts has an arm. He just doesn't have the vision. And that's the thing. Ever since he came in as a freshman and he played, ever since that he came in as a freshman, that's one thing I've always been on Shy Works about, is slinging that football. You can throw the ball, but you have a lot of tunnel vision. That first interception that he threw, thank God that Rashad Bird got the ball right back off of that interception in the first quarter. But that first interception, straight tunnel vision. The second interception, straight tunnel vision. He threw it right there. Yeah, it was tipped, but you're throwing it into a crowd of 3 people. You know, I mean, Shy wasn't necessarily hurt. Shy had cramps, and I get it. And that's another thing. You don't want your players to get on and off the field so fast, because there have been reports out there that it was hot down there on the field. Yes, I know it is October, but you also in South Carolina. It don't get cold down here like that. They said it was hot down there on the field. It was steaming a little bit. And if you saw the game was, you know, it did look a little sweaty down there. So a lot of guys that it was hot, they probably felt a little dehydrated, wasn't prepared. You're not really going to be in, don't expect this type of weather in South Carolina on the middle of October. So I get it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Shy Works had cramps. He had to go out. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a problem for the rest of the year. Now, we are playing the next 3 games at home. I think we'll be fine. I think we can get out of this at 6-2 once the next games come. So, yeah, it was only cramps. So that's why he was able to come right back in once he got hydrated. He was able to come back in. But at that point, to be quite honest, I think when he came back in, I think it was still 14 still. So I can see why they brought him back in. But going forward, this is a problem that we're going to have. This is one of the problems that we had last year. Somewhat of a problem that we had the year before. This offense have to evolve. It has to. I mean, there's no way around it. We have to get to a point where we have to mix it up. You saw what Georgia Tech did. Georgia Tech basically ran the same offense we did because that offense was ran by Paul Johnson. Paul Johnson ran an offense similar to what we have. And what happened is that offense had the result. They had to expand. Yes, you can run the option from every now and then, but at the end of the day, you got to throw the ball in this type of environment nowadays. You have to. There's no way around that. And when I mean throw the ball, I don't mean just getting the ball out of snap and just looking around and looking at one person, because you're not really looking around, and throwing it to that person. I mean, the defense, you got DBs right now that are that good that could play receiver, but they'd rather play DB just so they can get interceptions. And this is what happened today. Shout out to the guys on our defense. They played about as well as they could. I had no problem with the way they played. Like I said, they stopped the run for 3 quarters. But when you have to constantly go right back onto the field, you have to constantly go back on the field and actually play over and over again, you're going to get worn out. And then on top of that, you're getting worn out on a field that they said that it was warm down there because of the way the weather was. You just can't do that. Let's see. The boys don't know how to finish a football game. Overall, no, they can't. I can agree with that. You look at the entire season, they've been having problems finishing games. So I'm here with you on that. This game right here is another example of where Coastal Carolina defense adjusted and we didn't have a counterpunch to the adjustment. We just didn't. We could have easily just continued to move the ball downfield a little bit and got a field goal, and the defense would have had enough rest, and we could have called it a day. You know? And I think that was the main problem with what's going on. We were not able to adjust when these guys decided to adjust to our game plan, because we were not able to get out of it. we were not able to do it. Well, where's Kendrick Duncan Jr.? Kendrick Duncan played a little bit today. Matter of fact, let's look at the stats. I'm glad you brought that up. So we can look at some stats right here. And let's see, team stats. That's the full teams. I want to see player stats. Where's defensively? Where are we? Kick return, punt return. That's one thing I don't like. They don't have too many defensive stats here. But he did play. He did play, and he actually did pretty good. He did pretty good today. I will give him that. Rashad Bird, Derek Cantina had interceptions. Let me see. Let me see if I can go here. Nope. This is not. I don't like this this setup right here. It's not that good. But yeah, Kendrick Duncan did actually play today. He was out for a while, but he actually played. He played pretty good. But when you see right here, and see, this is right. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Look, it was 14-14 right here. 5 plays and a punt. Look at this. At the end of the half, they punt, we punt. I don't have a problem with this because we had the ball for 2 minutes. Okay, I give them that. 6 plays punt, 5 plays a punt, 19 yards. Then they score a touchdown. See, then they score a touchdown right here. No, I'm way too far. Let me stop. I'm sorry. Where is the second half? Okay, let's see. It's end of the second quarter. Okay, this is the third quarter. It is right here. Third quarter, 14-14, punt. Let's see. Where this is it right here. They missed the field goal. This is what I'm talking about. Play for 5 minute drive. You can't do this. You see this? You punt the ball 3 plays, 7 yards, 48 seconds. The guy's already been on the field for 5 minutes and 26 seconds. You see what I mean? They only been on the field for 5 minutes and 26 seconds. The defense is going to be tired. You know what I mean? The defense is definitely going to be tired. So with that being said, they go right back and then they score. 5 plays, 63 yards, 2 minutes. They gassed them. So now look at this. Punt, once again. 3 plays, 3 yards, 1 minute and 44 seconds. They go right back on the field. Touchdown in 11 seconds. At this point, the defense is done. That's where he passed on the screen and the second and third and missed. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. And then he passed on 3rd and 3 and missed. 2nd and 3 should have been another running play. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that bothers me because like this is where the game was lost. Right here. 14-14. You had them where you want them. Even at the end of the second quarter, you look at the third quarter. Punt. They missed the field goal. You see what I mean? They missed the field goal right here. Right here is where we could have turned it around. But when you only have the ball for 48 seconds, the defense is going to be tired. And then you turn around and they score a touchdown. You punt the ball right back to them. You had the ball for 1 minute and 44, but you only ran 3 plays for 3 yards. Come on, you can't play like this. You can't. If you look at everything else prior to that, everything was all good for the most part. 4 plays, we punted, but we had the ball for 306. Okay, we had 1 3 and out right here. Then we threw the interception, but we got the ball right back. Where's that scoring touchdown that we had? See, we didn't even hold the ball long enough to do that. It was 7 plays, 54 yards for a touchdown. But, we had a punt return as well. But even then, it was a defensive game, and we didn't do anything. This is where everything turned around right here. They got to do better with that. it's no reason that we could have, ball management, play calling is just terrible. That's something that definitely needs to fix. But other than that, I don't blame the defense at all. I do blame the play calling again. The play calling against UMass was much better, but when you did see the play calling at UMass, it was more condensed passing again. Shao Wertz, I love him. I think he's great, but he cannot look downfield. He can't watch his progressions. He can't see who's going to be open. I think that's one of the things that, that really hurt us a lot. I think Tomlin does a better job looking downfield. I mean, he's actually a pretty good thrower. I really can't wait to see Sam Kenderson. I think Kenderson can throw the ball a little bit. I think Alex Cohen could do. You got a couple of good quarterbacks that can throw on the team. Shao Wertz is just the most athletic, and he's the better playmaker overall. But you got some guys behind him that can throw the ball if you want to run that type of offense. So let's look at the Chanticleers real quick. Right now, they're really in the driver's seat right now. Shout out to them. They've played very well. Before I do that, let's see. I want to look at some of their stats from this past game because I don't want to just keep it out of the way from them. Fred Payton was the backup. He was not the starter, so I thought we had a better chance of winning this game because the actual starter was out. He threw for 15 to 28, 252, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Yeah, that's okay. I kind of expected those type of numbers. I'm okay with those numbers. What I'm not okay with is this right here. A lot of these rushing plays came late in the game. Shamari Jones came in late, and these 5 for 44 is the things that killed us. That's the thing that killed us completely. He came in averaging 8 yards a carry. Reese White, okay, I don't like that either. But for the most part, their starter, 19 to 19 for 1 yard a carry. Come here, baby. Come on. We had him shut down. You want some milk? Hold on, people. Let me get my son. I'll be right back. Yes, Peyton did start for him last year. Hold on. Come on, baby. You want to go get some milk? Where your cup? All right. I had to get my son some milk. He just woke up off his nap. Come on. Come get your cup. Come on. Okay, you don't want to hold it. All right, well, just leave it right there then. Yeah, Peyton did start for him last year, and we ended up going to triple overtime against him. I just remembered that. So at the end of the day, he played a pretty good game, but the running game at the end of the game really stopped us because we were able to hold them until the defense got tired. And I think that's one of the main things. That's one of the problems that we had. You look on our side, Shao Wertz, 7 of 20, 94 yards, 2 picks. It was just not a good day for him passing the ball. He was rushed in a lot of things. It was not game planned, it was not that good of a defense passing. As far as running the ball, it seemed like we could have done a lot better. Kennedy only had 4 touches. That's not good. Logan Wright only had 1. That's a real problem. Logan Wright and J.D. King should have had more touches. That could have helped. Even if you was getting a few yards, you could have got that, and you could have probably went over the top and passed the ball on the other end. So with that being said, it just turned out to be a pretty bad game overall, especially in the second half. First half, I did not really have a problem with, but the second half was really not good. We held them to 2 yards per carry. We held them to 2 yards rushing, period, up until the third quarter. Up until the third quarter, up until the fourth quarter, they only had 2 yards rushing. So 128 yards came in the fourth quarter. You can't win like that. The defense has to get some rest. Shout out to the Chanticleers. We're going to look at them real quick. Right now, after this win, they are 5-0. They are on their way to possibly having a really good season. They play some really good football. They play Georgia State next on Halloween. So they play Georgia State next on Halloween. Then they play South Alabama, Troy, Appalachian State, Texas, and Liberty. Liberty might be the game they're going to have a problem with because Liberty is playing some really good football right now. You okay, baby? I'm going to get you straight in a minute, okay? He just woke up. But yeah, the Appalachian State will be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game because App State is App State. They tend to play well. I mean, they're kind of like on a down year, but they're still Appalachian State. So they're going to play them pretty good. But Liberty is a problem this year. Liberty is a pretty good team. That's a team we could have beat we should have beat last year. I don't know what happened in that game, in the bowl game, but I digress. We already taken enough L's for the day. Don't need to relive another one. So right now, this Appalachian State game and the Liberty game, these guys could possibly go, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can possibly go 9-2. Yeah, they can possibly go 9-2. And that's actually not a bad record for Coastal Carolina. For the bowl game, I think we did okay as far as the bowl game. I just think what happened in the bowl game, their quarterback was just too good. I mean, they had chances to blow us out the water. The defense played okay, but their quarterback played pretty well. Even though we got an interception off of him, the quarterback for Liberty played pretty good. And Gandy Golden, he plays for the Redskins now. He played pretty good as well. But shout out to these guys. These guys look like they're going to have a pretty good season and possibly win the Sun Belt. As for our team, where do we pick up the pieces from here? We have to get back to our game plan. We can't be doing anything crazy because right now we have a chance to bounce back. We play against South Alabama on Thursday. I will be doing the podcast on Thursday around this time. So I will be talking about this game on the First and Frame Rates podcast as well with my other co-hosts. They don't really like to talk about Georgia Southern, but I don't care. I will be talking about that game. Hopefully they can bounce back here. We got a 3-game homestand. We're going to be home for the next 3 games. So South Alabama, Troy, and Texas State all are winnable games. Hopefully we will end up being 6-2, which would be pretty good. And it won't be too bad if we can continue to just keep strolling on, because then we have Army, which is another tough game, and we have Appalachian State. I don't worry about the Georgia State game too much. I think we'll be able to get Georgia State. But the next 3, I think they're going to be really good to watch, really good to see if they can bounce back. But that Army game is definitely going to be the tough game. To the point where I'm almost going to say they're going to take an L in that game because Army is really good. And we have Appalachian State. We do play them in Paulson, but Appalachian State always give us a fight. It's always been that way. So we'll see how it goes. Lil Uzi Vert says Troy always seem to play as well, no matter how well we play. Yes, they do tend to play as well, but I think we'll be okay. I think Troy, all three of these teams are somewhat on a down year. South Alabama is probably the only team that's kind of up. They've actually been playing pretty good, South Alabama, but as far as Troy and Texas State, I haven't seen them play too well against anybody. They lost pretty bad against BYU. They did beat Mid-Tennessee, but Mid-Tennessee, I'm not really worried about them as well. But they did play against Texas State, and they played against Eastern Kentucky. I mean, they're playing against teams that aren't really, that good as far as they haven't really been tested for the most part. When they were tested, BYU kind of ran them off the field. Look at Texas State. They're 1-5. I mean, what do we need to talk about here? We should be able to win this game pretty easily against them. So I'm kind of, not really writing them off, but that should be a dub. South Alabama is another one. They're 2-2. They got blown up by UAB. They lost to Tulane, and they beat Southern Miss. So I think they beat Texas State as well. So I think we're going to be okay against them. Troy may be the one we have to look out for, but I think we'll be all right for the most part. I think these are 3 winnable games. So I'm going to be looking towards that, and I want to see what happens against Army on November 21st, and we'll just go from there. Lil Uzi Vert also said, I miss Vildor Brinson, also Tyler Bass. Jay Browdry was a great anchor at linebacker. Yeah, he was. I think Jay Browdry is still with us, but he just hasn't been playing. So we'll just see what happens down the road. Thursday, we'll be back at it. We play against South Alabama, and we'll see what happens. Let's look at some of the other scores out here on the college football landscape. We'll see what's going on. Right now, you have... Come here, son. Come here. Come here, baby. Here. Here. You don't want your juice? You don't want your milk? You don't know what you want. You just want to sit there and whine. Come on now. Huh? Okay. All right. Just sit there then. Yes, they played this Thursday. Hold on a second. Son, you got it. Come on now. Come on, baby. You just sitting there. Okay, you want to get out? Okay. Oh. Okay. You just want to sit there? That's fine. Huh. My son just want to sit there and just look at my games and just want to, I guess he want to play with them. I'm not sure. But, yeah, they played this Thursday. All right, let's look at some of these games here. Florida Atlantic at Marshall. Alabama at Tennessee. Marshall's beating Florida Atlantic. Look like nothing's going on there. Alabama's up already. I don't see Alabama losing that game. Iowa State at Oklahoma State. Penn State at Indiana. Virginia Tech is down against Wake Forest, which is surprising. Notre Dame is up on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has the ball. Look like they're moving the ball. Clemson beat Syracuse. I saw that coming. Ohio State ran through Nebraska. I saw that coming. North Carolina and North Carolina State. I thought this was going to be a good game. Turned out North Carolina blew them out, which was surprising. Kansas State played Kansas 55-14. Saw that coming. Obviously, you see the Georgia Southern game. And then you have Michigan and Minnesota play next. You have Miami. They play at 7:30. Miami and Virginia plays at 8. And this is a game I'm going to watch. I want to watch this Cincinnati SMU game. Because this game looks like it's going to be actually pretty interesting. Come on, give here. All right, thank you. I got it. Thank you, baby. He called himself cleaning up now. The Michigan-Minnesota game, I agree. That may be a good game. I'm not sold on Michigan, though. I have to see them because I don't even know who they're playing with. So I don't know. I know what Minnesota's about. But, yeah, Texas State's going to lose another one to BYU. Like I said, I'm not really worried about Texas State at all. So those are the games that we have going on right now in the top 25. I could go through the other games, but it's not too many other games that seem interesting in my book for what I've seen so far. So what we have here is a few games I'm going to watch. Definitely going to watch Minnesota and Michigan and watch that a little bit, but I'm definitely going to be watching the Cincinnati SMU game. So that's pretty much going to be it for me, man. I don't have anything else. Sadly, we lost this game. We got a 3-game home streak. We're going to be playing at home for the next 3 games. Maybe we can bounce back. We can get up there and be 6-2, and we'll be bowl eligible at the least. So we could go bowling once again. If we win these next 3 games, we'll be bowl eligible. So hopefully that'll be the case. And I'm going to be out. I'm going to play some video games. I'm going to watch. Me and my son's probably going to sit here and play some video games. He like to watch me play. And we're just going to just chill out and wait for Thursday because we are playing on Thursday. Nope, no upsets this week, man. Everything seems like it's going in order. So we'll see how everything else goes for the rest of the night. Maybe Virginia could beat Miami. We'll just see how it goes. But no, we can't win them all. We got the next 3 games, and that's how it's going to be. Yes, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the weekend. I will be back tomorrow. I'll probably be streaming Sunday morning. Definitely be doing a retro stream on Sunday night at 8 o'clock, so you guys could check that out. First and Frame Rates every Tuesday and Thursday. Check us out there. Also, if you want to subscribe if you haven't already, shout out to the subscribers that came through for the past few weeks. Thank you guys. Also, we also have ways you can donate. You can look on Teespring. We have frame rate gear. You can buy your hoodies, shirts, hats, and masks. You can get all of that. So check all that out in the description. We are going to be out, and I will see you guys next time. I will be streaming tomorrow, so you can check me out then. All right, y'all. We'll be back at tomorrow. You guys be easy. Peace.